Hey everybody, it's Oscar time. Let's check out the nominations here. Alright, right off the bat, Best Picture, Ford v Ferrari, Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite. Wow, I got a fucking migraine. Who should win this? I'm rooting for Parasite to win. But I wouldn't be shocked if Once Upon a Time in Hollywood wins. Though those are my two that I think are going to get it. If Joker gets it, wowie, wowie, zowie. Here, Audrey, come over here. Get over here, girl. Or don't. Just jump in front of the camera anytime. Alright, so lead actor. We got Antonio Banderas, Pain and Glory, Leo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time, Adam Driver, Marriage Story, Joaquin Phoenix, Joker, Jonathan Pryce, Two Popes. I'm rooting for three guys here in particular. I knew you'd do that. I knew you'd do that. Get over here, girl. Alright, you're staying with me this whole video now. You're staying with me this whole video now. Mwah. Love you. Alright, I'm rooting for three guys in this. Say hey, girl. Say hey. I think she sees herself on camera there. Look at that. Yeah, you do, don't you? You do, don't you? Alright, I'm rooting for three guys here. Again, before I was rudely interrupted. I'm rooting for my boy Antonio Banderas. I hope he wins this one. I'm also rooting for Adam Driver and Jonathan Pryce in these categories. Why? Because I'm sick of Joaquin Phoenix's mumbly awards acceptance speeches about veganism and about like celebrity and all this shit. I don't care. I don't care about the political side. I just want to see a good actor win, and I think Joaquin's great in the movie. However, I think these three actors, I think they'd actually give really nice speeches. Hey girl. I think they'd give really nice speeches if they won, and I don't think they'd make it a political platform. I don't think they'd use it to stand on their soapbox and preach to everybody about how much better they are as a person for their beliefs and shit like that. I've gotten so sick and tired of hearing Joaquin Phoenix go on and on about it. I mean, I respect the guy. I think he's a great actor again. No fault on his performance in The Joker. He is the standout of that movie. He makes the movie work. He's the reason why it's getting all of these nominations. If it wasn't for him, like, it's got a whopping 11 nominations. I mean, that to me is just that's absurd. I mean, the fact that The Joker gets 11 nominations, yet Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight gets no Best Picture nomination. Looking back at all the comic book movies that are eons better than Joker, I mean, it's just baffling to me. The fact that this movie just rips off Taxi Driver and the King of Comedy, and it's getting all this praise for it. Give me a fucking break. Anyhow, moving on here. For lead actress, we got Cynthia Erivo for Harriet. I haven't seen it. Scarlett Johansson, Marriage Story. Saoirse Ronan, I think that's how her name's pronounced, is for Little Women. Charlize Theron, Bombshell. Renee Zellweger for Judy. Not sure who I'm rooting for here. I haven't seen Harriet, like I said, so I don't know about that actress. I have no problem with any of these nominations. I mean, Scarlett Johansson's probably my pick for winning this one. I wouldn't be surprised with any of these actresses winning. I kind of don't want to see Charlize Theron winning because she's already won one for one of these awards for a similar performance in a Monster, where she's like made up to look like the person, and she does look like what's her name, Megyn Kelly, but I hope she doesn't win it for this, because this seems like a I don't know. It just seems like a bad movie to me, and the fact that they're nominating shit like just because she looks the performance, and she's probably great in the movie. Like, the movie itself to me looks like a Lifetime TV like special, like something that was made for TV that happened to have these three huge named actresses in it, and it just got propped up and put on this pedestal, and I'm sick of seeing this get so much praise. Even though, again, I haven't seen it, so I don't exactly know if it is as bad as I'm saying, but from what I've heard from respected critics that I really like, this seems like just a complete like Oscar baity type movie. So who am I rooting for again? I'm rooting for. I wouldn't mind seeing Harriet actress winning, Scarlett Johansson, Little Women actress winning. Like I said, basically anybody but Charlize Theron. I just don't want to see Bombshell walk away with any awards, especially since it's got a couple nominations here going forward. So let's look at the category that's pissed me off the most throughout awards season. We got the supporting actor nomination category. We got Tom Hanks, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Anthony Hopkins, Two Popes, Al Pacino, Irishman, Joe Pesci, Irishman, and Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The reason why this category pisses me off, and why it's pissed me off all throughout this awards season, what the fuck is with The Irishman and getting not one but two supporting actor nominations? I mean, we all know who the better of these two actors are, right? Joe Pesci is clearly the standout in The Irishman. He's the best actor in it. He gives one of the best performances of last year. So why the fuck does Al Pacino keep popping into these award shows? Like, keep getting nominations. He's playing fucking Al Pacino. There's nothing like he doesn't transform into Jimmy Hoffa. He just doesn't. I'm sorry. Like, I don't buy him as Jimmy Hoffa. Like, it's ridiculous the amount of nominations he's getting. And yet people cry and whine about my boy Sir Anthony Hopkins getting nominated for the Two Popes. Most of these fucking assholes that are complaining about that haven't even fucking seen the damn movie. So what the fuck are they going on about? Go on about how The Irishman is getting so many supporting actor nominations. Meanwhile, Pacino is playing fucking Pacino from like 20 fucking years ago, except he's old, and like watching him do these fucking rants is embarrassing. Like, not as embarrassing as seeing De Niro beat the shit out of some store clerk in the most laughable, unintentionally laughable movie scene of the damn year, or of last year, in my opinion. I mean, it's just fucking, it pisses me off. And what pisses me off is that they could have nominated my boy Willem Dafoe for The Lighthouse in place of one of these two idiots. But no, well, in place of Al Pacino. I mean, like, I like these actors. I like all these actors, and I have no real problem with their performance. It pisses me off that these award shows fucking keep doing this double-header bullshit. I mean, why do we need two? Like, you guys can't just be fair to every other movie that came out this year? Why does The Irishman need fucking two supporting actor nominations? It just boggles the mind, man. It totally pissed me off when I saw that today. I knew it was going to happen after seeing the Golden Globes. Oh my god, it's just ridiculous. And not to mention, too, my girl in the category before this, in the lead actress category, my girl Awkwafina from The Farewell didn't get no nomination. The Farewell got nothing for the Oscar nominations, which is just a complete joke. That movie's much better than quite a few of these movies on here. Like, I guarantee The Farewell is better than fucking Little Women, and I guarantee it's better than Bombshell, and I guarantee it's better than Judy. Like, or even Harriet as well, for fuck's sakes. Like, the only one I'd say it's in contention with in the lead actress category is Marriage Story, because I think Scarlett's really great in that movie. Fucking moving on, though, man. The Oscars, that's the thing about the Oscars. It always pisses me off, but 2019 was such a great year for movies that I'm not as pissed off as I have been with the nominations from previous years, where the movies are just so, like, Oscar baity. Like, most of the movies that I've seen this year, I thought were really great. Like, it's actually, 2019 was one of my favorite years in cinema, if not my favorite year in cinema, just because I saw so many consistently well done movies that I thought were 10 out of 10 or just below it in a row. And it was so tough to make a top 10 list because there's just so many great movies that I saw that I felt bad not mentioning certain ones. That's why my honorable mentions list was like just huge, humongous. But anyhow, Moving on to supporting actress now, we got Kathy Bates, Richard Jewell, Laura Dern, Marriage Story, Scarlett Johansson, Jojo Rabbit, Florence Pugh, Little Women, and Margot Robbie in Bombshell. I'm rooting for Laura Dern here for a Marriage Story. I mean, I'm kind of baffled that Scarlett Johansson gets two Oscar nominations, both in leading actress and supporting actress. Wouldn't it be funny if she won for both performances here? But again, it's like that Pacino Joe Pesci thing. I mean, it's like, okay, you nominate the same actress in two separate categories. Like you can't just make up your fucking mind and pick the better of the two performances and nominate one over the other. Instead, it's gotta be both. It's gotta be both. Why? Because that sort of tells me that she's probably not going to win Best Actress for Marriage Story. So they're probably going to give it to. If I had to guess, I'd say they're going to give it to Saoirse Ronan because she's the young up-and-coming actress. So I think they're going to give it to her. And I think Scarlett Johansson's going to walk away with just getting two nominations in the same year, which is pretty fucking impressive. I don't recall ever seeing that before. Like, if I wouldn't be surprised if it has happened before. I'm just saying that I don't recall ever seeing an actress and a supporting actress, like the same actress, get nominated in two separate categories. It's very strange to me. So again, for supporting actress for this one, I'm rooting for Laura Dern for sure. I mean, I haven't seen Richard Jewell yet. I had no interest in seeing Jojo Rabbit. That just looks like trash to me. I mean, Little Women, I don't care about movies like that at all. Like, it just seems like a lame movie. It's not my type of movie. I hear all these critics going on about how good it is, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm not buying into it. And Bombshell, again, for Margot Robbie. No, I just don't care to see that movie either. Like, and I hate to prejudge. I hate to judge movies, but, you know, that's what they're there for. You know, if you want to judge something, you know, fine. Like, if it's not your cup of tea, fine. I just hate it when people, like, and I'm about to contradict myself because I say these films look like shit, but you know, I hear certain people, like, getting annoyed with the fact that the two popes in particular is getting all these awards nominations and stuff like that, and it kind of pisses me off, the fact that people are downplaying how good the film actually is when they haven't even bothered to see it, because it's one of the better films of 2019, and I think it's really a shame that movies like that get nominated, you know, for actually, and they deserve their nominations. It's not like a King's Speech type scenario where King's Speech was fine for what it was, and it had great performances all throughout the movie. But looking back on the King's Speech, it doesn't really hold up, in my opinion. It's an okay movie that's propped up by really great performances, good cinematography, and it's got this, like, feel good thing about it. So it's a good movie. It's a fine movie, but it doesn't stand the test of time, in my opinion, especially when the director goes on to make crap like Cats. You know, it sort of shows that, you know, this movie probably didn't deserve all the fucking praise we heaped upon it in the past. Anyhow, moving on now, we got Best Director. We got, of course, Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, Todd Phillips for Joker, Sam Mendes for 1917. I still haven't seen that. I think it looks great. I can't wait to see it. Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. I'm rooting for my boy Bong Joon-ho here. I hope he pulls off the win for Best Director. Though I really wouldn't be surprised if Tarantino wins it, because he's been on the cusp of winning one. Obviously, ever since Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs, movies like that. So I wouldn't be surprised. It's sort of a double header between Tarantino and Bong Joon-ho for me. I also wouldn't be surprised if Sam Mendes surprises a lot of people and wins it here. Like, I think 1917 legitimately looks like a really great movie, and I almost think it's kind of penance for for them screwing over Christopher Nolan, not giving. I think Dunkirk got Best Picture and Best Director nominations, but I thought Dunkirk should have won in like at least the director category, because I felt that Christopher Nolan has deserved to win Best Director for a long time now, and I really hope that this upcoming Tenet movie really, because we all know it's going to be a phenomenal movie. I can just tell just by watching those two trailers. It looks like something really special. And yeah, so for this year, for these nominees, I'm picking Bong Joon-ho to win it, though I wouldn't be surprised with Sam Mendes or Quentin Tarantino winning. And I wouldn't be upset about that either. I'd be really shocked if Scorsese or Todd Phillips won. Like, I'd kind of, especially Todd Phillips, obviously. I'm shocked he even got a Best Director nomination here. I would have preferred somebody else to get a director nomination here. In particular, Robert Edgers for The Lighthouse. I mean, just The Lighthouse. The serious lack of nominations for The Lighthouse, I just find is completely mind-boggling and laughable too. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but the Oscars make me laugh with some of their harebrained decisions. Best Animated Feature: How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. I haven't seen it. I think I've only seen the first How to Train Your Dragon, but it was a good movie, so I wouldn't mind someday watching these three movies. They actually look entertaining. I Lost My Body. I haven't seen it either, but I really want to see this movie. I just haven't been able to watch it yet because it's not out on Blu-ray or DVD as far as I know, so how the hell am I going to watch it? Klaus. Yeah, I'd say right away I'm rooting for this film to win, even though I highly doubt it's going to win. I'm just happy it got a nomination here. I really enjoyed Klaus. It's going to be a Christmas holiday classic for me going forward. And I think it's a beautiful film. Beautifully animated, voice actors, really wonderful. Missing Link, haven't seen that one either. And Toy Story 4, I loved it, cried my eyes out during it. So for me, it's a battle between Klaus and Toy Story 4, although it'd be interesting to see I Lost My Body win it as well. I think that's a movie that seems very, very compelling, and I bet a lot of people would be interested in watching it if it got a win here. Even the nomination must intrigue people, and they must look at some of the trailers and go, oh, it's about a hand that's literally crawling around like Thing from the Addams Family. Yeah, so, yeah, it looks good. I'm skipping the animated short category because I haven't seen a single one of those. Adapted screenplay, we got Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Two Popes. For adapted screenplay here, I'd say Two Popes, just because, yeah, I'd say Two Popes here. I don't think it's going to get a lot of wins, so it'd be nice to see Two Popes win for something. I think it might be for this. So I'm rooting for Two Popes to win it here, though I wouldn't be surprised if Little Women got it, because Greta Gerwig didn't get the Best Director nomination that everybody was rooting for her to get. And again, I haven't seen Little Women, so I can't really judge it. I haven't even seen Lady Bird, which was the film last year. I'm not sure if it got screwed over by the Oscars last year or the year before, but a lot of people seem to like that. I still haven't seen Lady Bird either. That looked like a really good movie. So yeah, for this, I wouldn't be upset if Irishman won it, because Irishman has a great script as well, so I wouldn't be shocked if that wins it. But I'm really rooting for the Two Popes in like almost every category. I think it's a wonderful film, and I think it deserves to be seen, and I think anybody that's willing to write this film off right away are completely delusional. I mean, like, give the movie a chance before you watch it. I know it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but it's a perfectly fine movie that I'm just baffled with how some people have reacted to it getting all these nominations. It's just absurd to me. Moving on now to original screenplay, we got Knives Out, Rian Johnson, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Which one am I rooting for here? Either Knives Out, Marriage Story, or Parasite. One of those three I'd be happy with. The scripts for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's typical Tarantino script. It's wonderful. It gives actors plenty of room to strut their stuff on screen, if you will. But yeah, one of those three, Knives Out, Marriage Story, 1917. The fact that it got nominated for an original screenplay award seems kind of weird to me, because a lot of people seem to point out the fact that it doesn't really seem to have a focus on characters as much as it does a production. It seems like a production movie where the technical aspects of it are really what makes it shine. Hey, girl. Yeah. Oh, you're trying to jump away already, are you? Yeah, too bad. Too bad. Keeping you around now. Alright, moving on from that, we got the cinematography nominations. For this one, we got Irishman, Joker, Lighthouse, finally something at least, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, obviously, Roger Deakins is going to win this. I think it'd be completely ridiculous if he didn't win for this. However, if The Lighthouse won, I mean, I wouldn't be upset with that. If any of these other films win, like that'd be absurd. Like 1917, Lighthouse, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood would be my third selection. Like, I think that movie has some really wonderful cinematography, especially with the car sequences. Like, I actually probably would have, I'm not sure, but I probably would have nominated for Ford v Ferrari over Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. However, they both showcase their car sequences in such great fashion that I'm fine with either being nominated. And we got some good selections here. I mean, I think Joker's kind of overrated when it comes to all these award nominations. And ironically, last year when the trailer was coming out, I was singing its praises, going like, oh, Joaquin Phoenix is going to get Best Actor nominations. This is probably going to get Best Picture, Best Director. I called it right then and there. I think a lot of people could tell. Like, I think a lot of people were saying like, yeah, this looks like an awards contender. But looking back on it, it's amazing how resentful of the Joker I am now. I mean, I'm just like I seem to actively be rooting against it, which kind of pisses me off, because I did enjoy the film, but I just think it's kind of absurd that it's getting all of these award nominations. I mean, especially for Best Picture. I mean, it just seems absurd. However, it's not the first comic book movie to get Best Picture nomination. That award goes to Black Panther from either last year or the year before. I can't remember. So Best Documentary Feature. I've only seen one of these. I've seen American Factory. That's a good one. The Cave looks good. Edge of Democracy, I haven't seen a thing on. For Sama, that looks great as well. And Honeyland, I haven't seen anything about it, but I heard great things about it. Who's going to win this one? I guess For Sama, or For Sama, or however you pronounce it, or Honeyland. Just from what I've gathered other people saying about those films. Moving on through a few of these documentary shorts and best live action shorts, we got Best International Feature, Corpus Christi, Honeyland, Les Miserables, another one. Pain and Glory and Parasite. Obviously, people are rooting for Parasite under this one. I'm rooting for Pain and Glory, my boy Antonio Banderas. I'd love to see him win Best Actor, even though I think it's going to go to Joaquin Phoenix. Or Parasite here. I think Parasite's the obvious choice. I mean, clearly it's got to go to either Parasite or Pain and Glory, since they're getting the most attention here. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see. It's obviously going to be Parasite that wins Best International Feature Film. There's no question about it. If anything else does, then I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked. So, for Best Film Editing, we got Ford v Ferrari, Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, and Parasite. I'd say Parasite for this one. However, I think The Irishman, like in spite of my problems with it, I think the editing really works well for it. Because the first time I watched it, it was an uncomfortable sit in these uncomfortable chairs in this theater. So I didn't like seeing The Irishman in theaters. However, watching it for the second time, I was amazed with how quickly the film flew by after a second viewing. It really, and it got better for me after the second viewing. So for this one, I'd say either Irishman or Parasite. I think Joker getting nominated for film editing here is kind of bizarre because it has a lot of awkward like scenes. In particular, I'm thinking about the scene where he's bashing his head into the wall, like, and the scene also where they have to like show you that like he was literally imagining the love interest being there with him during certain key scenes. I mean, it's shit like that that just seems to like treat the audience like a bunch of buffoons. Like, oh, you guys are idiots. You don't get that he's a nutcase. Like, we're gonna show you he is in an asylum. Like, we don't need to see this shit, do we? Like, what are you implying here? I don't know. It seemed pretentious to me, some of the editing choices in Joker. Just, when I was sitting there in theaters, just mind boggled by it. Alright, how many of these we got left here? Okay, not too many now, because I want to get done here. I gotta go to work soon anyhow. Alright, sound editing, Ford v Ferrari, Joker, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. The fact that Star Wars, the fucking Rise of Skywalker, the fact that this movie has gotten, like, I've seen 2 nominations for it. Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, it's got a VFX nomination as well. The fact that this shit has got more nominations than The Lighthouse. By God, what the hell is wrong with the Academy? Like, this is serious, just ridiculous garbage. The fact that shit movies like these get double the nominations, or just more nominations in general, compared to other better films that deserve nominations. Like Uncut Gems. No, wait, Star Wars has 3 nominations, not just 2. Unless I missed some up top, which I'm not going fucking all the way back reading through this shit. I don't care that much. But still, Star Wars, come on. Come on. For sound editing, I'll say 1917 or Ford v Ferrari. Sound mixing now, we got Ad Astra, Ford v Ferrari, Joker 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Again, either 1917 or Ford v Ferrari, though I wouldn't be surprised if Ad Astra wins for this as well. Production design, Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. I'd love to see Parasite win this one because the production design was wonderful on it. I wouldn't be surprised if Once Upon a Time in Hollywood takes it away though. Or The Irishman. It's between those 3. I don't think Jojo Rabbit's going to win, and I don't think 1917 is going to win for this one. I think it's going to be Irishman, Once Upon a Time, or Parasite. For original score, we got Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, and Star Wars. Yeah. So instead of nominating Uncut Gems for its brilliant score, we nominate John Williams again for a generic fucking score. Like, this is one of the weakest John Williams scores I've ever heard. I don't remember a single fucking thing about the score from this movie, from this recent Star Wars movie. Like, the only one I remember, obviously, is the main title crawl. That's been there since 1977. I don't remember any fucking other piece of music from The Rise of Skywalker. It's a bland, forgettable fucking movie, and it's got 3 fucking Oscar nominations. Give me a fucking break. Fuck off. Original song, we got I Can't Let You Throw Yourself Away, Toy Story 4, I'm Gonna Love Me Again, Rocket Man, I'm Standing With You, Breakthrough, Into the Unknown, Frozen 2, Stand Up, Harriet. I don't care really. I'm rooting for Elton John, obviously, for Rocket Man. I think if Rocket Man and Bohemian Rhapsody had been reversed, I think Rocket Man would have killed it last year in the awards, and it's a shame that, it's sort of put under the shadow of that garbage dumpster fire known as Bohemian Rhapsody. I think that movie's a complete fucking disgrace. And it pisses me off that a better film, like Rocket Man, is eons better. And everybody who's seen it compared to Bohemian Rhapsody, I think, would agree. Rocket Man is 100 times better than Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, the performance, the fact that Taron Egerton was actually singing the songs, he didn't need a fucking, like, guy in the back, like, lip syncing. I mean, you fucking win Best Actor for lip syncing. Fuck off. God damn, man. Alright, we're finally getting to the end of this shit show. Makeup and Hair, Bombshell, Joker, Judy, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, 1917. I don't care. Really, I don't care. Bombshell, Joker, Judy, Maleficent, blah, blah, blah. I don't care who wins this one. I really don't. Costume design. But if I had to pick one to win Makeup and Hair, I'd say Bombshell, probably. Probably, just because Charlize Theron looks like Megyn Kelly, so I guess. I don't know. Honestly, though, I'm kind of shocked that The Irishman didn't get nominated here, but I think it's just an excuse to get, like, Angelina Jolie, like, into the awards somehow. It's like, hey, your movie got an Oscar nomination, just like The Lighthouse, you know? Hey, we'll give you one. And that's it, one and done. Fucking assholes. Costume design, we got Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think without a question this is going to Little Women. Like, the Oscars, they fucking love their period pieces. They're just they're about as predictable as you'd expect them to be. And finally, visual effects, Avengers Endgame, Irishman, 1917, Lion King, Star Wars Skywalker, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. For this one, I'd say Avengers Endgame. I don't know, like, the picks here seem lacking something. I swear there's something else that had, like, effects that were far better than these selections. Like, Endgame, even though I picked that had a few moments throughout where I'm just like, the effects don't look as great as they could be. Like, especially looking at the original Iron Man movie, where a lot of it was practical. And whenever you see the Iron Man suits in these newer movies, it's just like, it looks fucking so CGI when they could clearly do it practically, even though it's like, oh, like, we don't want to do it practically because it keeps our actors from doing this and that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, wouldn't it be better if, like, whatever. The Oscars, man. Okay. So, I think I stated somewhere near the start of this all, before this rambling, ranty Oscar nomination rundown came afloat. I think I said somewhere along it that I have no problem, really, with these nominations at all. 2019 was such a great year in film, and I still have so many films to see from 2019. In particular, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which looks incredible. My boy Chris Stuckman gave it an A+, so I can't wait to see it. That film looks great. I'm genuinely shocked that didn't get a cinematography nomination. Instead, they nominate Joker. I mean, what the fuck is up with everybody and loving Joker so much? I get Joaquin Phoenix's performance. He's great in the movie. But the fucking movie is just a fucking ripoff of Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. The fact that fucking ripoff movies, the Oscars and all these award shows praise these ripoff fucking movies so much, like Avatar and shit like that in the past. Like, just fuck off with it. You guys are fucking losers. Like, and instead of fucking nominating movies like The Farewell that have awesome performances from Awkwafina and the whole cast, Instead of nominating films like that, you fucking nominate Scarlett Johansson 2 fucking times. Give me a break. And The Irishman getting 2 supporting actor nominations in a fucking another award show. Every award show that gave it 2 nominations instead of just 1 for Joe Pesci, obviously. Like, are people that stupid? They can't just single out one of the 2 performances. Like, there's no question about it. Everyone you ask would say Pesci, Pesci, Pesci is the standout of The Irishman by far. Every year these Oscars, they always piss me off because it's a thing where it's just like, ugh, you know, these actors like Willem Dafoe, in my opinion, they deserved not only the nomination, but the fucking win. It blows my mind. I mean, I'm not shocked that The Lighthouse didn't get, like, Best Picture, Best Screenplay, blah, blah, blah. Like, I know the Oscars are so generic in their picks. Like, they're just like, oh, whatever, we'll give it to Little Women, but we won't nominate Greta Gerwig for Best Director because we're, because we're woke, you know? My God, these guys are such morons. Fucking Oscars. Every year these come out. Every year these nominations come out. I tell myself, I'm not going to get angry about this, but I do. But I do. Because I hate the Oscars so much. I hate everything they stand for. They're about giving little statuettes to these fucking propped up celebrities that already get paid overwhelming amounts of fucking money. And they need like hundreds of award shows to prop them up even more so they can stand on their soapbox and preach to the fucking masses about how they should help the planet and blah blah blah. Meanwhile, they take private jets everywhere they fucking go. Like that's the one thing I didn't mind about Joaquin Phoenix's Golden Globe speech. And obviously, like, if you were watching that speech, you'd notice that they were cutting him off while he was talking about that. Anyhow, it's 4:30 here, guys. I'm kind of hungover, if you couldn't tell. I had a long night out. I literally slept till like 2:30 today, so I've only been up for 2 hours now, and I gotta go to work at 5. So, wish me luck out there today, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you're doing much better than me after these nominations. No, I'm doing good. I'm just fine with these nominations, but of course every year we're all going to have our differences. We're all going to have our snubs and surprises and blah blah blah. It's Oscar season. It's holidays for Tinseltown. Blah blah blah. Anyhow, thank you for listening, guys. I'll see you next time.